Good morning and welcome back to the Calling Birmingham. We are Push the Point and we are here to bring you another 5 rounds of Swiss, followed by the top 8 at this incredible community event in the UK.
Absolutely. So the first round we got on for day 2 is an Azuri versus Bravo. Now, I'm really excited to see this because Azuri is someone that we haven't managed to get on to the stream as of yet, and I think she's one of the most interesting heroes to actually come out since Outsiders because of all of the attack reactions and all that trickery that she's able to throw down on the board. It's just one of those really exciting games to see.
So let's have a look at some of her key cards. You've got Isolate, some of these stealth cards. Isolate has Dominate. It can be used to good effect with Azuri's attack reaction. Put to the bottom of the deck, and then something like Shakedown put in its place, which not only comes in for 6, doesn't cost anything if you use Azuri, but it also has a very important on-hit effect.
Absolutely. And you've also got the Leave No Witnesses as well. That's a very important card to keep an eye on.
And these are slightly different because they're contract cards rather than the stealth cards.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the contract part of that is not the biggest important factor in this. It's the on-hit effect when it comes in. And when you've got really big cards like Codex of Frailty, which, to be honest, I would put that in the cards to watch for, but as well on top of all this.
Yeah.
But that Codex of Frailty, put no Leave Witness back into the arsenal, play that card out and just disrupt their arsenal. That even you put that card in and then Leave No Witness takes it away.
0 for 4 with a big on-hit effect that can help recycle some of Azuri's equipment.
But you got to keep an eye on that first card someone pointed out, Isolate. Isolate is a really important card that will come out end game. That's going to close the game.
Let's review some of the cards to watch for Bravo. I know we had a brief look yesterday. We had one Bravo on stream.
Yeah.
Again, Bravo does what Bravo does, and he rarely changes his game plan massively, but we've got new cards like Starstruck, which are coming in for 10. It does cost 7, a bit like Crippling Crush, but the on-hit effect can be massive against a hero like Azuri, who aims to boost their cards with attack reactions.
Yeah, absolutely, because if that Crusher Fit comes into play, it's just going to completely wipe out their turn. No daggers, no attacks coming on afterwards. It's such an important attack that it's just going to completely disrupt everything. And like you said, when you block, you get that Surge token.
Yeah.
That's just really good.
Crippling Crush. I mean, who doesn't love a Crippling Crush?
I mean, it's old school, man. We're going old school.
11 for 7 with a Seismic Surge token up. You're only pitching 2 blues.
Yeah.
It's just so good.
I know, bro. Imagine you get Starstruck, another card block, get the Seismic Surge token, Crippling Crush in Arsenal, pitch those 2 blues, you just return with that.
Boom.
And then Pummel.
Yeah.
Pummel. We all know Pummel.
We saw Pummel yesterday.
I'm sure you did.
Yorgos was playing it on top of a Humble.
The Humble Pummel.
The Humble Pummel.
That's what we named it.
The Humble Pummel. It's a threat. Anytime that a Bravo has a card in Arsenal with 1 or 2 resources floating, maybe a Tunic in the mix.
Oh, it's that Tunic, man.
Pummel has to be respected.
All the time. And it's usually, as we all know, it's a CNC Pummel.
It's a horrible play, but it's so effective. No defense reactions against the CNC.
Absolutely, and this is the thing as well. I know we're doing this cards to watch out for Bravo, but this is the same thing that Azuri can also do as well. Bravo's got that Pummel trick turn, right? But most of the time, everything is face up that you're going to see. Azuri, on the other hand, I mean, the whole game is just going to be like, oh, this is Pummel.
Well, I'm
everything's
interested
like,
to see, Hamish, whether this Azuri is going to play along the contract side of things, whether they're going to play the stealth cards and the Azuri flip, or whether they're going to play to a fatigue game plan. Now, I don't think that's as likely against a Bravo.
Yeah, I think that's a rough game against Bravo.
But it will be interesting to see whether the Azuri player is going to be using the value attacks on the contract side, or the isolate stealth cards, putting them under the deck and flipping in those big cards like the Shakedown and CNCs.
Interesting thing, I did a little bit of a walk around. And when I saw this matchup come up, I was very much like, who who would you actually put your money on, right? Because every time you see a matchup, you kind of just put your money on something, right? And even though we're commentating and casting and we are being as open as possible, but we're also competitive players, we look at this and we go, yeah, I think Alexa's going to take this, or Alex against Dromai, you sort of go, well, I think Dromai favoured slightly. In this one, I went, I don't actually know which one's favoured, so I did a walk round and asked some of the players, and the interesting thing that came up was some people went, oh, no, this is Bravo favoured. And other guys just went, oh, no, this is Azuri favoured. So that we were in for a really good match.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see this. We'll try and decipher some of the lines of play as much as possible. But I think this is going to be a really interesting game. I think we're going to see some back and forth. It might be a bit cagey. Both players might be setting up a pitch stack for their second cycle. And we are going to see a really interesting, well thought out game. So we have Jeremy Miller on Azuri at 6-1 and Luke Kramerich on Bravo at 6-1. Now, 6-1 going into day 2 of a calling is not to be underestimated. I think both of these players performed really well yesterday.
Absolutely. It's such a big buffer. I mean, most of the time, a lot of people are looking at the bracket, and that safe bet is the 10-2. So going in knowing that you have that buffer of at least, you don't want to, you're going in to win, but do you know what I mean? It's just that buffer of feeling how close are we to, how good is it for my
X and 2 I think is a safe place for the top 8. We may see a couple of X3s get into the top 8, but they're going to be the ones who have lost maybe twice in the last 2 rounds and snuck in.
Interesting that we're just doing the live poll, if I remember the word now, poll out now, and I thought we're going to be seeing a battle between the two sides, but this one seems to be very much, well, the chat believe that this is very much going in the way of Bravo. So have we actually had a game where the chat is wrong?
I think the chat have been pretty reliable.
Yeah, was there the Briar game when everyone went Briar and then it was slowly, it was slowly going the wrong way, and the chat all then went, oh, I think we'll
change our minds.
Yeah, we're gonna move back.
So on the Bravo side, again, we're battling the light of Sol today. We will see what we can do. Apparently there might be some rain later, might dumb down a bit.
It's the one time in the UK that we've actually prayed for a little bit of overcast.
But it looks like
rain.
We've got a Crown of Providence, a Crater Fist, a tectonic plating, and I can't see. It looks like it might be the Iron Rock boots on that side.
I wouldn't be surprised if it is, to be honest.
Yeah,
it's a pretty, it's probably the best.
On the Azuri side, we've got the Mask of Perdition, Flick Knives, Final Spring Tunic, and the Black Tech Whisperers. Pretty standard. Yeah. And then the weapons, obviously, we have a Nerve Scalpel and a Spider's Bite. So really trying to mitigate some of those reactions blocking for Bravo using the Nerve Scalpel. Bravo's rocking Anathos today. Yesterday we saw Titan's Fist and the Shield, the Buckler. Yeah. Today we're back to Anathos.
Yeah, no, I think in this sort of matchup, it's when you're the most important thing that happens when you're playing up against an assassin is that you got the the flick knives and the equipment. I think they're actually to this point well established. It's the daggers. Yeah, they're the ones that are like changing up and
chip damage, one each, but they really have relevant on-hit effects. So
exactly. So
Spider's Bite coming in here for 1. We're seeing a respected block there with a crippling crush.
Just got confirmation it's Iron Rock legs.
Yeah, turn 0. Blocking up those daggers, making sure that we're not getting any unwanted effects from their on-hit. Obviously, Spider's Bite, if it does hit, reduces the block value of the next attack action card by 1. Used to block, that is. And the Nerve Scalpel reduces the next reaction card used to block by 1.
Yeah, and that's very important. What you're going to see with that Nerve Scalpel as time goes on is it's pretty much a flick knives move that when Jeremy comes in for this stealth attack and he swaps it in for this really big on hit attack, and Luke wants to use the defense reaction to try and cover it up. There's always that flick knives to just do 1 damage and reduce the amount of defense from that reaction, which is going to be really important.
We are now seeing a Blessing of Deliverance played out by Bravo, and then the Tectonic Plate activated for a Seismic Surge, and Anathos coming in for 6. So a nice simple turn from Bravo, looking at some life gain in the next turn when that Blessing of Deliverance comes to fruition.
This Bravo honestly feels very much in the realms of the crew meta of Flesh and Blood way back when probably a lot of us weren't playing, which is something that I can see someone in the chat, Mr. Cal McCree.
Oh, Kale's joining us for the Bravo Mastery.
Of course, there's a Bravo on the stream, and Kale's here. So
I think this is a life gain Bravo fatigue strategy. Yeah. I'm not sure how that's going to go against an Azuri.
I'm intrigued. I think that so here's something to point out, and I think this again. Thank you, Kale, for this is something that he taught me. That the red ones, you want to get them out first. You just want to get them out, and then you actually want to pitch up the blue ones. Yeah. And this could be a bit different now from as it happens now, but it's just something I've always just remembered, that you always just pitch up the blue blessings, just so that when they come back round again, that you've actually got some bit more gas in the tank.
So we're seeing a hurl just for 3 go again, no added effect of flicking a dagger straight into an E-strike. Which mode are we taking? 5. Go again? Or draw a card? Let's see. 5, draw a card.
5, draw a card.
So, as Simon Svensson in the chat pointed out, the daggers not only have relevant on-hit effects, they also have piercing, which if blocked with armor, or equipment, should I say, increases the attack by 1. So they are relevant against Bravo, who has so much equipment.
And that was my point when you were saying why would you think you not want to use the buckler? And I think it's because in the end, if you had even if you had scale peeler, it's going to be a pain.
So good hits for the Bravo on the Blessing of Deliverance. 3 cards, all of appropriate cost, getting 3 life back, and then just pitching a blue, having defended with the 3 cards the previous turn, pitching a blue, Anathos for 4. Not a bad trade.
No, that's not a bad trade, but at the same time, it's also not going to be a big problem for Azuri to cover a P. But it feels right that she's not a Guardian, but she kind of has these moments where she can play like a Guardian, and I say that because she doesn't need to have a lot of cards in hand to do something really effective.
Yeah.
So she can block up quite well.
We're seeing that there with the first defense reaction, a Fate Foreseen being played out. Pitching and Eradicate now, getting that 2 resources to play the Spider's Bite, chipping away at Bravo's health total.
We've got a pitch stack.
We're
just looking at a pitch stack.
Both sides are looking at pitching to a second cycle game plan. E-Strike now coming in for 7. No need to draw the card. We've already got the Arsenal card.
And remember that's going to be blocking for 2 because the Spider Bite landed.
Blocking 6 total then.
Blocking 6 total. The Spider Bite's already doing its work. It's effectively done 2. Because it's effectively done 2 damage to the 1, and then it's taking that 1 armor down from that.
It's a dangerous game to play, letting these daggers hit.
Yeah, absolutely.
So making a seismic, pitching 2 expensive cards to come in for Anathos for 6. Again, we're seeing a Spinal Crush and a Macho Grande pitched. We're seeing a pitch stack form on both sides of the table.
Yeah, absolutely. This is the sort of game we're going to be going for on both sides, where we're just going to be kind of getting rid of our defense reactions, chipping each other down, setting up for that late game.
Setting up for a full gas late game.
Yeah,
Are we going for a combo?
I'm going for a coffee.
Strap in, guys. I think we're going to be here for the duration. We are going to see a lot of chip damage slowly.
They also kind of want to, if they are able to, take some really opportunistic moments while they're setting up their pitch stack to just, if they can just drag that health total even lower, it helps make that second cycle be more impactful. It's not something that they're going to take damage for to try to do, but if they have that chance to go, you know what, actually, I've got a pretty gas hand.
They've got to offer the threats.
Yeah, absolutely.
They've got to offer that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they don't want to take damage unnecessarily to do that.
Absolutely. So here we go, right? We have our first moment of potentially, if there was stealth cards in play. To be honest, I haven't seen.
I've seen a CNC in hand.
No,
I don't
I know,
know if
I've
this is
seen
going to
it.
be pitched or whether they're
But I
going
haven't
to.
seen any stealth cards.
Not yet.
No, I'm curious about how this deck's sort of playing out, really.
We
So-
are seeing the CNC come in, and
Well,
attack
the
actions are going to block for 1 less. So
I know.
this could be a 3-card block.
This is a bit of a this is what we say in the UK. This is a bit of a faff.
A bit of a faff, you're
This is
right.
a bit of a faff.
But Bravo does have the equipment. It doesn't want to use it this early, I would doubt.
Yeah, so but that's fine. You know, Bravo does have some non-attack actions racing about. So we are
okay.
going.
So 2 pieces of equipment used and a non-attack showtime being
It's-
used to block fully for 6.
That's. I mean, yeah. I mean, it's very effective. We've still kept a lot of cards in hand to come with the trade, but I wonder if Jeremy's actually quite happy with that.
I think that's a good trade. Getting
Yeah.
2 pieces of equipment down,
Yeah,
really good trade.
this early in the game, and
But
this is probably why he kept it.
Seismic, Crippling Crush,
Yeah,
coming in for 11.
no dominate.
No dominate. Didn't have the resources for the dominate. Saving a card for Arsenal on the Bravo side, but we are seeing 11 damage come at Azuri. If it crushes, if it does 4 or more damage,
Yeah.
Azuri will have to discard 2 cards.
No, absolutely, but it's this again. This is Jeremy. This is the Azuri thing, right? He isn't like a really. He's not like all the aggressive heroes. He doesn't need to have a 5-card hand to pull back anything. I feel like he's going to comfortably cover this up absolutely fine, and then come back with something impactful like on his next turn. So
Okay, so blocking 5 in the defense step, 2 pieces of equipment and a plunder, and then blocking another 3, so 8 total, just avoiding the crush, taking 3 damage, and then 1 card in hand.
I mean, we're trading equipment now. So as much as Luca lost some of his equipment there, Jeremy's had to give up some of his as well, and he is looking like he's a little bit more of a contract based.
It does look like that,
Azuri, yeah.
and that may mean that he's not unhappy using those equipment pieces to block because he may be able to get them back later in the game.
Absolutely, if Bravo allows
if Bravo allows him to get some
So here
contracts.
we go. Here we go now. The first card on the card to watch. Leave no witnesses. It's here. It's coming in for 4. If this hits, the Arsenal will be destroyed. It's getting blocked for
Blocking for 3.
So it's taking 1. He is going to lose this Arsenal.
And a
It's
sigil.
fine. It's a sigil. You know, he was baiting him out.
Baited it out.
He's baited it out. It's all good.
But he does get to banish the top card of his deck if
That's-
it hits. If
if
it's a red, which is unlikely in Bravo.
I bet he's got some reds, and if it does hit the red, it's actually one of his. But it's a very powerful card.
And we're already looking at cut to the chase, which is a +3 attack reaction.
And we're also getting rid of the helmet as well. So we're looking at potentially.
So we've missed an interaction there. Cut to the chase. Play the contract card allows Azuri.
But it's on the stack.
No, allows Azuri to look at the top card of the deck and put it to the bottom.
Yeah.
It wasn't a red.
No.
He's banished a blue and a red sigil.
So he gets.
So he gets 1 silver.
He gets one
And he
silver.
gets. So the mask was used to banish the extra card, which
Yeah.
was useful because he got the sigil
Absolutely.
as the second card.
Yeah, that was a big play. So that's just getting him the.
Got the 1 silver.
Only got the 1 silver. Okay, so 1 more to go.
1 more to go. And then he can
the
get
helmet
another
back.
1 block helm back.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bravo just coming in. Seismic. Pitch 2 cards for Anathos.
You're going to see a lot of that.
I think we're going to see a lot. It's not
You're
quite
gonna-
Sledge Watch.
It's
not quite Oldham Sledge Watch.
No. Sledge Watch was
It was a unique time.
it was special.
Yeah.
It was. Oh, can you see? There we have here a very. If you're new to Flesh and Blood, which I imagine a lot of you aren't at this point, but if you are, it's this really cool looking brown Tommy looking card in Jeremy's hand. That is a Codex of Frailty that we discussed
It
about.
might be a Codex of Frailty. It might be another Codex.
We
We have seen a Codex of Bloodrot in this deck as well.
To be honest, you are probably right, but if I'm a better man.
It's a Marvel Codex, is what we know.
We know it's a Marvel Codex. If I'm a betting man,
Okay, all right.
I feel like it probably could be. You're just winding me up.
I am winding
Yeah, I
up.
know you're winding me up.
I really like those codexes. We're just seeing a full block for 6 there. These codexes look fantastic. They're based on the old Latin anatomical medical type texts.
Oh yeah.
They've got incredible drawings.
Oh, is that?
So that's
actually,
been pit. It's not. It's not.
That's
the
not frailty. No, I got that wrong.
It might be inertia.
No,
That's not Bloodrot either. I don't think.
It's not any of them. So what is it?
I think that's inertia. I think we've seen a couple of codexes already.
I thought the inertia.
Come in with Nerve Scalpel, taken the 1 damage. Now Plunder the Poor, which is another contract card. Comes good value, 0 cost, 4 damage. On hit, when it hits, it banishes the top card of their deck, and it's looking for card with 1 or less, which is not going to be relevant necessarily in Bravo. It is being banished. It's a choke slam, cost 3.
But that's fine because
He's
guess
banishing
what?
the cards.
But it's not even that. He's banishing the cards. He's banishing like important, this red choke slam.
Levi says it is Blood Rot. My bad. That was
Levi. That is Blood Rot. Levi, you're a superstar. Thank you.
So it's not frailty.
It's not frailty. It's not inertia. Salute to you, Levi.
Coming in with the Cranial Crush for Bravo. Seismic made Cranial Crush.
Simple.
Fully blocked.
Yeah,
Warmonger's there.
It's not a full block. It's coming in for 8, taking 2. It's all good. It's to be honest.
Not crushing though.
No. Cranial Crush is one of those hard cards to, pull off. It's not actually that hard to pull off to get a crush. It's just it really is better to targeting heroes that are drawing a lot more. And
I think we are seeing Jeremy's Azuri take a little bit more life than I would have thought by now, but he's trying to maintain a bit of a threat coming in each turn.
Yeah.
Trying to keep 2 cards, 1 to pitch for a dagger, 1 to play.
Here we go. This is actually a card that's
Annihilate the Armed.
This one's going to be actually a really impactful one because it just targets an attack action card. If it banishes an attack action card, he'll get a silver token from that.
Yeah.
Bravo's got plenty of that.
Costs 1, comes in for 5, and it's got the effect of the Spider's Bite.
Okay, but we're blocking in with a 4, taking 1, and banish the top card of his deck. It isn't.
It isn't. But it does get rid of a Warmongers.
Okay.
Interesting. The Fate Foreseen allowed Bravo to opt and put 1 to the bottom.
He knew.
He
probably just looked up and went, "That's cool." Yeah, that's fine. And it's coming in with another card that we put on the cards to watch.
We did.
The Starstruck. And if this crush hits, any attack, I tell you what, plenty of words here. When this deals 4 more damage to a hero, the only attacks they may play or activate during their next turn are attacks with base strength greater than the damage dealt this way. So if he deals 4, anything that's doing 4 or less
can't be played.
So it's either... we've got to block this up, right? Because the jury, the daggers are 1s. Most of the attacks are 4s.
We see an Isolate in hand there as well.
Yeah.
Probably going to block out with that. And then a defense reaction maybe from Arsenal.
Maybe. I think so. I'm not... He had that card in Arsenal for a little while now.
Yeah.
So I'm intrigued whether he was just sitting there waiting for a really big turn. Ooh.
Using the Flick Knives to block for a total of 6 there.
Okay.
7.
7. I thought he would probably want to try and
taking 3.
just use the Flick Knives.
It's
just
interesting
throw
to
the
see
dagger.
them go without being used.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because that is not a piece of equipment that can be recurred with silver either.
No, that's gone now. That is gone for good. So yeah, I would have thought he probably just wanted to just get that dagger throwing, just get that one piece of value.
However, if we are looking at fatigue, he wants to keep both those daggers.
Maybe.
That's chip damage. That's good chip damage.
But it could. What happens if it gets down to that 1 last health?
Yeah.
We'll see. Well, this I think is something that to take note to the end of the game. Whether Levi,
the black text have already blocked. That -1 counter is on the black text.
Yeah.
That he had no other equipment blocks apart from the tunic left.
So yeah, I still think it would be one of those things later on down the game where it will be. I wonder if that 1 damage I'll put in.
It's possible.
I wonder if, and that's sometimes in Flesh and Blood. That's how these games go.
It's a big piece of equipment to give up with 30 life left on both sides.
Here we go. Now, this is a very interesting card because, again, if he did throw this works on the daggers. Looking for scrap.
Yeah.
It actually works on daggers because it's not specifically looking for attack action cards. It's just looking for attacks that have base power of 1.
And he has been blocking with those 1 isolates and backstabs. So we have seen some stealth cards. They are in the graveyard, and he's banished a blue backstab to make that 5 go again.
It's a really cool card.
It's a good card.
Really, really cool card. back to the Bravo now. He's just having a think here on what his attacks are. So he's, okay, Fabled.
That's a nice pitch for a seismic.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So
What's he going to play with it?
I wonder.
He's pitched for the tectonic with the grandeur.
Oh wow! So we
made
get
2 seismics and then coming in with a debilitate
with 2 floating.
2 floating. What?
Oh,
I wonder. Could it be?
Hmm.
Is it just a bait?
I wonder. I mean, come on, man. Cards to watch. We were talking about Pummel.
We were. Pummel
talking about
features heavily. I think Pummel is in every Bravo deck.
I think Pummel is in everyone's head.
We're seeing 2 defense reactions blocking for 8.
Here we go.
There's the Pummel. So it comes up to 10.
We knew it was coming.
It's not going to crush, but it is going to hit. Azuri has to discard 1 card.
Yeah.
Off the Pummel.
It
still has a 2-card hand.
Yeah, and that's fine.
Yeah.
For Azuri, that's fine.
And I think that's a value block.
Yeah. We've got the tunic ticked up. That's all ready to go now. That's been spent for another.
Where have Bravo's banished cards gone?
In his hand. No.
I missed that.
Yeah. That's a very good question.
Where did they get put?
We can. Alan in the booth is always listening to what we're saying, so I'm sure he can give us some answers as they come by. But for now, we'll just carry on with the game.
Yeah.
Pressing difference being dropped down and passing up. So Jeremy has got a full grip going on here, pitching up and eradicate to play the Spider's Bite.
I wonder if the banished cards are still on the mat, just out of sight. But it is strange that they're not in the banished zone.
Yeah, absolutely. I wonder if, again, we're going to see if we can do something about that. Now, we've first time seen Azuri's hero ability come into play, and yeah.
We see a shakedown come in.
Yeah,
so the sink below was played in response to the Azuri activation, attack reaction.
Why would you want to do that?
Just in case it's a CNC.
Ah.
So if Azuri is activated, the Azuri player has to turn a banish a card face down. Yep. You can then play a defense reaction in response to that. If it's a CNC, it gets around the CNC stipulation that you can't play defense reactions.
Because it's not in play yet.
Because it's not in play yet.
Yeah. Okay. Well, speaking of CNC.
Here we go.
It's a CNC.
Do we have any resources floating? We do not.
No, we don't.
We don't have to worry about it.
No. This is a safe. This is a safe.
We're seeing
CNC.
a respite. We're seeing 1 life gain on Jeremy's side.
Yeah, and
the arsenal being used.
Yeah,
so threat gone.
Yeah,
2 damage, but threat gone.
This is good. Oh, I can see the banished cards
have been moved to the side. We can see them on the camera now.
I will say that from playing on this map,
it's a bit cramped.
It is very cramped. I can now understand a bit more when you see people turn their decks to the side and moving their equipment in a bit of a funky way. The mat is very close together. Yeah, so it does feel like everything's on top of each other on the opponent's side.
And the players are allowed to put the cards within reason in rough areas of the zones. So as long as both players are aware, it's just nice for us to be able to see that on screen, to know they are still there.
Yeah, it just helps us as well, even for you guys as the viewers, just to know, there's banish.
We've seen the Crater Fist block used to cover a Leave No Witnesses.
Right.
And then Bravo comes back with a choke slam for 8. Now, this can be really useful against Azuri because it doesn't allow attack action cards to gain any power.
Yeah.
And Azuri does often want to play attack reactions.
Absolutely. But, without the dominate, Azuri, again, is just never going to let that happen. Happy to just have those low card counts to just.
And this is the 3rd Leave No Witnesses now.
Is it the 3rd, though?
Well, it is the 3rd.
Well, it is technically the 3rd.
There could be more.
There could be more.
Because of the codexes.
Yes, absolutely.
Or codices, if you want to go that way.
Yeah, the Codex of Frailty is a huge card because it's just...
easy block with the sink below, cut to the chase being put down, which allows looking at a top card, decision whether it goes top or bottom.
And he's going to leave it on top because...
And we lose. We lose the Arsenal. We lose the top card. 2 CNCs gone. No one else is getting a CNC lost in space. They are all gone.
That's 2 more silver.
2 more silver, up to 3. He can pay for that Mask of Perdition to come back next turn if he so chooses.
That is That's a hit.
I think that is a relevant play.
That's a very much relevant play. He's took out two really big attacks.
Cards.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's red cards, and then there's two CNCs. We're coming in.
Tear asunder into Anathos for 7 dominate.
Well,
2 cards going.
If you can see in this hand here, we've got an Oasis Respite. That is not going to be a problem. We're just gonna.
And then Tunic for Oasis. What a nice cover.
Wow.
What a good place to be for Jeremy. Again, a big threat.
And getting that health back as well. That's such a swing.
That's a swing.
I mean, we talked about that hit being a thing.
Oh, we have the Isolate Stealth card played. This has Dominate. And Azuri can switch this for a big card. So blocking for 3.
He's going to use the
activation.
Any reactions?
Shakedown. Oh. So when this hits, because we've already activated the Azuri attack reaction, the on-hit effect is live. Azuri can choose which color pitch.
Well, you're going to pick blue.
You're going to pick blue.
You're going to pick blue, right?
So he's going to get rid of the Tear Asunder. And he's got the hand knowledge of a Starstruck and a Sigil.
Which is
useless for Bravo this turn.
Well, yeah, I mean...
Does he pitch both and just come back Anathos?
He's just going to pitch to...
Make a Sigil, make a Surge
and he knows.
token.
And now he knows that. He
knows what's in Arsenal. He knows it's not a pummel.
Wow. So we're going to use we're buying back in. We've just went to the shops.
Let's just go back to that cover, that block, and then Tunic for Oasis Respite against 7 Anathos with an on-hit effect of discard 2 cards.
So
that's huge. That's such a good play.
Yeah, no, absolutely. The coming in, attacking, taking out the 2 CNCs, getting 2 silver, and then getting that could be the perfect block.
That could be the sequence that swings this game in Azuri's favor.
At the minute, he's commanding the mid game. Just that play alone, the mid game is back in his favor. It's not far from it. We're far from over. But right now, Jeremy is taking that drive.
In the ascendancy, let's say. In the ascendancy.
Yes.
Coming in for a dagger, followed by looking for scrap for 5 go again.
Yeah.
2 cards in hand for Jeremy.
Yeah.
I think this is a big turn.
Absolutely.
This is a potentially interesting turn.
This is him taking command, like we were saying before. He's managed to take that drive, the command of the.
Oh, and then the give and take.
Wow.
Coming in for 3. If this gets blocked, potential card recursion.
Yeah,
blocked from hand, sorry.
Yeah, it's by an action card. So, armor block, it's all good. There's no problems there. It's just going to take 1 damage and 1 floating. That's all she wrote. And that Arsenal is, the Arsenal's been taken up by the Spider's Bite. Whoops. All good. All good. Drawing up to 4. Bravo. Here we know what's coming. We know what's coming.
There we go. Dominate Starstruck.
Dominate Starstruck, baby. Look at this
10
face.
damage.
Look at his face. That is a grin.
It's a lot to take.
It is. It is. It's huge.
Pitch 9.
Okay.
Pitch 9. Activate Tectonic for 1. Activate Bravo for 2.
Yeah.
Seismic from the previous turn reduces Starstruck to 6 pitch. And what a clean play.
Yeah. It's. How do you deal with that? You
block 3.
You block 3.
Take 7.
Have you got
an attack that does 7?
I mean, if he blocked for...
He could have blocked maybe an extra Mask of Petition.
But then it's a 6 anyway. Okay.
I don't think you can activate
you can't do that.
No. Starstruck reads attack.
I think
not attack action.
I think he might have thought...
It was Dominate, though, so what else can you do?
No, I understand. Absolutely. I'm just wondering if... because he had a death... Was it the Death Watch?
Touch.
Death Touch, that's it. Yeah, Death Touch in hand.
That can only be played from Arsenal.
Oh, yeah, doomed from the start.
Yeah. And now we're seeing Dominate Spinal Crush.
This is
the game has swung back the other way.
Bravo can do that. Bravo has that with his Dominate.
Jeremy
has
to take a turn off because he's got no attacks he can play.
Yeah.
We knew that was in Arsenal.
Yeah. Okay. So he's only got 1 action. That's fine. 1 action's not the end of the world.
I mean,
for
it's
jury.
not great.
No, I'm not saying it's
but
good,
he can still get an Azuri activation.
But is it fine?
It's not fine.
It's not fine.
We're just seeing a contract card.
Yeah. So
he's trying to force the block. He's taken a bit of a battering.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been such an interesting back and forth game.
I think if this looks like it's going to go
Ooh.
through. He's going to activate the Mask of Perdition and try and banish a couple of cards.
Yeah. Do you think he will actually want to banish the mask, maybe?
Up to 8.
Come in for
No,
8.
just damage.
Okay.
And it is an
okay.
attack action. It's another Starstruck.
Yep, that's it. So
Gets the silver and then moves on.
yeah, that's fine. So now he feels very comfortable and confident.
But Bravo has a 5-card hand
I
again.
know.
He's
I know.
activating Dominate.
He's
coming in for a
the
crippling crush.
Oh, the Bravo's being Bravo.
11 Dominate.
Oh.
I mean, you can't do anything about that. He's got 2 armor blocks left.
Wow.
He's going to block 5 maximum.
Wow.
Unless this is a defense reaction in Arsenal or a
An
Oasis.
Yeah. It's Jeremy is. There's a point of when when you just know you've got.
We thought it swung the other way. I think
Yeah.
this might be a defense reaction.
Do you think?
He's blocking 4.
No,
He's not giving up the tunic. He's taking 7. Wow.
I
Discard 2 cards.
Wow. Okay.
The problem with, you've got a pitch stack here, waiting for this pitch stack to come back around. You've got no health to now. You've got no health to activate that. You can't take a big hit to come back.
No.
You now have to respect everything.
Yeah.
On 4 health, a pummel from Arsenal is lethal.
I know. I
Like-
know. This is a funky spot for sure. So Death Touch coming in for 6.
So there's the death touch from Arsenal. We've already seen he's got an equipment plus a defense reaction to block easily for 6.
Yeah.
No other cards in hand.
Oh. Yeah. There we go. Clean block.
This is sealed. This sealed the game. I think.
I
I don't see Azuri coming back from this because.
Well,
Bravo
I'm not
writing him off.
Don't write your check. Yeah, just yet.
But we have a dominate.
But there's a check coming in
Into
for
a
a spinal
spinal
crush.
9 dominate.
Okay,
I don't think
okay.
he can cover that.
Well, let's see.
Even if he has an equipment plus a defense reaction, that's only 5. He still takes 4.
But he has some oases. I don't see it. I think you're right. I think the check has came in, signed, spinal.
Signed, sealed, delivered.
Signed, sealed, delivered to the
On
spine.
a spinal crush. Jeremy, this game turned about 3 times in the last 5 turns.
Yeah, absolutely. It was like,
The-
we've got
the double
CNCs,
CNC
and then I
banish.
block up your stuff,
Yeah.
and then I come back for you. You've only got these 2 things, but the second that Starstruck
Starstruck changed the game.
hit that,
And that's why it was a card to watch.
He's never recovered since, and that's the game. Well done.
What a game. 25 minutes to go on the round. We thought it was going long.
Yeah, and then Bravo just went, nah.
Bravo, a deserved winner with 3 back-to-back dominate turns to finish the game. Wow, what to say? Starstruck, Spinal, Crippling Crush, and Spinal, all dominated 4 in a row.
What a game.
What a game. This is what Bravo can do now.
Absolutely. It's Bravo. Bravo has is just doing his stuff, and it was actually such an amazingly fun game to watch. I did think that the Azuri would be a little bit more on the stealth side and being a little bit tricky, but maybe that sort of strategy against Bravo is actually quite tricky.
We didn't see any pommels from the Azuri. We saw 1 from Bravo. But it just shows the effectiveness of the new cards for Bravo. Starstruck playing a huge role in that matchup.
Yeah.
He's got so much in his arsenal. They were setting up a pitch stack, but he got fortunate, and that Starstruck changed the game towards the end there.
100%. So we've got a cheeky James White interview that we did.
We did.
It's not the whole thing. It's just a snippet coming up, right now.
So we're going to pass back to Alan in the studio and see you for the next round.
Hi, welcome to the Calling Birmingham. That was round 8. Well done, Luca.
Thank you.
Oh my God, that was definitely Bravo time.
Yeah.
That was. Thing is, you were so patient. You were just like, this is going to be a long one. Can you just give me you were asking for a time count when we got to 40, when we got to 30. You were checking your cards, and then you just unleashed. Like, it got down to like 17 health, and then you just had a run of cards that every Bravo player just wants. It's just like big attack after big attack after big attack, and this was after you took the contract and lost your 2 command and conquers. When that happened, you were like, Oh, you know, I saw you go, oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Jeremy was just like, yeah, I'm loving that, Paul. That was brilliant. But how were you feeling going into that game? And then how were you feeling throughout?
Well, at the beginning, I was feeling very confident
Yeah.
because I think Bravo is favored into Uzuri. But when he told me he played 71 cards and he had contract stuff, I was a bit afraid of fatiguing, even though my weapon does 6 damage and his weapons only do 2. But he banished 8 cards with contracts off the top of my deck, and there were 2 Command and Conquerors,
Yeah.
Starstruck, they are big attacks. And then I saw Give and Take, and then I saw Remembrance, and in my head was like, if I plan to fatigue him with just swing with Thanatos, he will go Give and Take, Give and Take, Give and Take, which I can't block, so that's 9 damage, because if I block 1, then he grabs another one from the grave. And I guess when I saw he played 2 Oasis and pitched the 3rd one, I was certain he didn't have any D-reacts left. And then I knew, okay, I can take this. I think the last attack he hit with me was Annihilate the Armed.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, you do this now. I will then come with Starstruck Dominate, and then any red attack off the top is Dominate. And he was already fairly low on life at that moment. And I knew I had 2 Rouse the Ancients pitched to go 7 into 6, which will knock his whole hand out or deal a lot of damage. But yeah, there was the moment I was fairly certain I would win was when Starstruck connected, that he didn't have another whack-ass
Yeah,
D-react in Arsenal.
They don't have a attack high enough to get over Starstruck's
Yeah,
ability, shall we say.
maybe, yeah, if he block, even, no, he could have only blocked for 6, so even Command and Conquer can't be played or nothing. And when that happens, he can't play cards from Arsenal, so even if he has a D-react in hand, he can't put it in Arsenal, so next Dominate is also hitting. And that was when I felt very relieved. The moment I was most scared of was when I played Terra Sunder with him having no cards in hand, swinging Gauntles for 7. He goes, block 3, reactions. I'm like, not Oasis. And he moves 3 counters from Tunic to have 1 resource, plays Oasis. And he healed for 1 life. I wasted 3 cards for his 2, and he gained a life.
Yeah.
And then I was sweating.
So have you been Bravo main for a long time, or did you see Starstruck and go, now's the time I'm moving in?
Well, I played Dash
Okay.
until Phi became meta. And when Phi became meta, I was like, I need something that can interact with Phi that is not just pure damage like Dash is. And then I started playing Bravo, and I really enjoyed the deck. It was also pretty cheap to start playing because it doesn't require Tunic.
Yeah.
And then I realized that Bravo isn't that well into Phi
No.
also, so, but I stuck with the hero. I think I know it pretty well. I also do some misplays, of course, but not as much. And I think it has high roll potential, even going first with all the auras and sigils. And I think it's a decent meta call. Problem is there are no clear wins, so there are not any 70-30 matchups in my favor. But there also aren't any 70-30 against me, so every game is going to be close. I had like 5 games like this one happen yesterday, and most of them ended with 1-2 life. So yeah, I mean, I don't know if you know, I don't want to brag, but in Bologna I won the Battle Hard on Bravo, so
Okay.
winning that event made me confident. Okay, I'll play Bravo until it's decent, and when Starstruck got announced, it's another attack that has great on hit, and it's an honorary blue in the color of yellow.
Nice. Your brother has also made top the day 2.
Yeah.
You pointed him out, so give him a shout out. Give your locals a shout out as well, because hopefully some of them are watching.
Yeah, I think
and
they are
they
watching.
cheering you on.
When you told me I'm on a stream, I just go into Discord and my family was also watching. And as soon as the game got, I look on my phone and see hearts and cheers.
Nice. That's really good.
Yeah, so I'll give a shout out to my brother Nicola.
Yeah.
He's here with me. He's currently playing against Icelander. I hope he won. And of course to my whole local scene, because I didn't buy any Dust Till Dawn product. It was late to arrive in my country, so they borrowed me cards. I just now got my place for Starstruck. The ones I have are from my 2 great friends, Philip and Christian.
Yeah.
And I mean, I don't want to name them all, but you should all feel shout outed. So
Yeah, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So we're going to run another community wrap up. I'm sorry, we're going to run another community video. Stay tuned for round 9.